hearing. I think not only, as Fernand said, it makes the case for just how much this community has suffered. You know, if we take that 60% figure of Haitians in the U.S. that have lost a relative or a loved one, it would be the equivalent of 180 million Americans having lost a relative or a loved one in a disaster. And of course, the political rejection of the work of their current government is also, I think, an important finding, and one that hopefully will lead to a more constructive future for the great country of Haiti.
I think the results clearly reflect the thinking on the ground in Haiti, to the extent that, you know, people here in the United States are in constant contact with family members, friends, relatives. They're hearing through Haitian radio, Haitian television, what the situation on the ground is, and so their opinions are being shaped by all of that. And so when family members tell you, well, we haven't seen or heard from the president, we haven't seen or heard from the various ministers, those of us in the United States who hear this and haven't heard either, or haven't heard enough of them, that's the opinion we form rather. And I want to be relatively fair to the government, understanding clearly that they too have their challenges. You know, they've got to count their debt, they've got to do a number of things to ensure that they can function. So that notwithstanding, there needs to be that public show of leadership, which is really the larger criticism.
This criticism of the president not being that visible, frankly, if you look around down there, anybody would have difficulty being visible.
This is very
even
true.
Getting to a camera. For the first 5 days, U.S. media didn't get much out of the airport area.
This is very true. While people are complaining about the visibility of the president, what I've also heard from friends and relatives in Haiti is that on radio, on Haitian radio, the president, the government has been very present addressing the local population. So I think the failing in this particular disaster is that they did not look enough at addressing the outside world. And so that is, I think, that's a fairer criticism.
Even though the radio stations, many of them were down,
there were a few.
Is a key to communications in Haiti.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a key tool, it's a key medium. Every Haitian will have a radio, and so radio is the way to stay connected, because radios are powered by batteries or by solar energy, and so everyone who can afford one, who has one, has a radio. And so to that extent, the government has remained in touch with the local population. But under these circumstances, nothing would be enough, nothing would be fast enough, nothing would be done well enough, and we understand that. But there is also the larger need to be present and communicative with the world. By the finding about Haiti's sovereignty, not being worth what it really is, that, at this particular point in time, it's okay if we were to be taken over by another power. I was surprised by that. And I think that was a comment born out of frustration, out of pain, out of disappointment.
What would you like to see people do with these findings here? Like, where do you go from?
I know what we're going to do with these findings. As an organization that serves the Haitian community, as an organization with a key role to play in Miami-Dade County, we're going to be sounding the results. We're going to be publicizing the results, using the results to mobilize and galvanize Haitian community members, allies, and friends, such that we put forth a process that at least provides some guidance and some recommendations to the government. We want our voices heard, and it's time to step up and say, this is what we want, as opposed to remaining in the background and complaining. So there can be no bystanders right now. There can be no bystanders, and all of us need to step up and do what we need to do.